y'all, what's up? It's your girl Stephanie and welcome to another episode of The Good, The Bad, and The Trendy, the show where we try out new, strange, and innovative products. Today, we are testing out the Juno & Co. Microfiber Velvet Sponge. A few people have requested that I try this out on Good, Bad, Trendy. I love that. Please keep the requests coming. I will try out what you ask on Good, Bad, Trendy. I ordered this like 2 or 3 weeks ago. It did take a while to get to me, but I think a lot of people are trying to get their hands on this thing. So I'm very excited to try it out. So before we get into it, if you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe below. Come join the sisterhood. No matter your true pronoun or gender identity, come join the family. All right, let's get started. Scooched it in a little bit and I just added some water. I just ran it under the sink and just squeezed it out like I would with my beauty blender. It did expand, I think, a significant amount. The material is so interesting. It's a velvet microfiber. It's supposed to give you an airbrushed finish. And it's supposed to go very quickly. So let's just go ahead and get started. I already primed my face with my YSL Touche Cloud Blur Primer, and I'm gonna use the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealers. Some concealers that I've been very used to using. I don't wanna switch up the actual products that I use because I wanna have a fair comparison. So I'm using light beige here. Just gonna just do kind of like half of the face. We'll start off on the cheek here and see how that goes. And I'm gonna go ahead and use the flat side because that's the side they suggested. It's feeling like a beauty blender right now. I don't know, I can kind of feel the little bristles. That did make the process go quite quickly. I could feel little bristles on there. It feels good. Kind of feels just similar right now, or looks similar though to a beauty blender. Maybe a little bit more full coverage. Let's try out the other side. Really depends on how much I put on there, obviously, but we'll just go for the full face. And again with the flat side. So here I have it moistened, but on the website it said you can use it dry for like blushes and highlighter and stuff like that. I personally would just go ahead and use my brushes for that. And also I don't have a second one. I only bought one to try that out, so sorry all about that. But yeah, it's looking good, I think. It's pretty much looking like my beauty blender. I do think maybe a little bit more full coverage. But in terms of the amount of time that's taking me to blend out, I think it's quite similar. I think this does not absorb as much as a beauty blender. It's really staying on the surface of the sponge. So it's not thinning out the foundation or concealer quite as much. So here we are with that thin layer of concealer. It's looking pretty good. So let's go ahead and do the under eye, see how it blends out there. I am using the same kind of concealer, whoa, but in nude. That is the color, okay. Oh, you know what? That kind of seems like a lot because it's not gonna thin out as much. Okay, let me try and grab some, oh, it's not gonna work. Okay, we're just gonna go with it, I guess. I always forget to add less when I realize that it's not gonna soak up as much. Do a little there, a little highlighting. And now I'm just gonna go in. Ooh. Yeah, I think you could definitely tell from the concealer that it doesn't soak up as much product. I feel like another face product that really wanted to do this, man, I think it was the very, very first Good, Bad, Trendy that I ever did, was that little plastic, that rubbery silicone. It was a silicone. It was one of those little things that is just like pretty much like a piece of plastic that they're like saying that you should use to blend out your foundation and you don't waste any product, but it didn't sit well on my skin and it didn't blend it out well. It ended up making my skin look really blotchy. And I think this might be like the midway point between that product and a beauty blender, because you're definitely getting more full coverage, I think, but it's actually blending it out from what I'm seeing so far. Okay, so here we are now with under eye concealing done, a little bit of, highlighting up here. I went in with the other side. So this is the side I've primarily been using, this flat side here. I went in with this other side to go in and just pick up some of the excess concealer because yeah, like I said, it's much more full coverage, so I think I had a lot of excess there, but it was nice. It just went ahead, I went in there, and it does feel like when I squeeze it, I can tell there's water inside, but it doesn't feel like so much water on the surface, and I think it's because it's, it has that velvety layer, but now that I'm squeezing it, I can feel the water come out. But it's just not as obvious as a beauty blender. Yeah, I am just using this side to thin it out a little bit. And then I think it's good. Oh yeah, since I squeezed it, I can feel now the water on my face. So maybe if you need to thin it out a little bit more, just give it an extra squeeze so the water comes out from the inside. I'm really liking how this is looking though. We have one real final test, I guess, for this sponge, and that is baking. I wanna see if it picks up my translucent powder. I bake because I am very oily, and in order for me to lock everything in, I use an excess of translucent powder, and then I wipe it away in 5 minutes. Here, I have to shake it. We got the Laura Mercier classic translucent powder. In the website, I also saw that they recommended doing this dry, but I would never use a dry sponge for this, so hopefully this works. So I'm just gonna pick it up with the flat side. Oh my God. Whoa, it picks up a lot. Oh crap. It definitely picks up more than a beauty blender, and I can't get it off. Yeah, the powder is in the little velvet bristles or whatever. Well, let's try and, okay, I'm softly doing this. Holy crap, that's a lot of powder. But it's doing it. I just have to not press as hard into the powder, obviously, when I'm doing this. Ooh, there's a lot caught in there still. Or I guess, yeah, maybe just don't have to dip in 2 times, just dip in 1 time and you're good to go. So with everything said and done, this is what the sponge looks like after application of everything. There honestly wasn't that much on the sponge until I added a bunch of powder. And you can see in the back, that's where it picked up some extra concealer and stuff. So right now, I am gonna go ahead and put on the rest of my face. I'm gonna wipe off the bake in 5 minutes, put everything else on, and I'll check back in with you. All right, y'all, here we are with my full face. I did try out a couple new products for me for this look. I used the Too Faced Sparkling Pineapple Eyeshadow Palette. You can see there's 2 different colors on here. I used this really pretty warm brown, and then I used this shimmery gold up top, and then I used the accompanying, or it's in the same collection, the liquid glitter eyeshadow in Lemon Zest. I use that on the bottoms. Just want to give a little shout out, like this look for sure. But yeah, I think that the skin looks good. It's definitely fuller coverage than a beauty blender. So if you're trying to find a happy medium between, I don't know, using a brush application and a beauty blender application, this could be a good option for you. I'm definitely gonna continue using it when I want fuller coverage days. I probably wouldn't use this day to day, or I just have to be more conscious, I guess, about how much product I'm putting on, because with the beauty blender, I'll put that amount on and then it just really thins it out. But I like thin layers of multiple things pretty much on my skin, but this creates more of a thick layer of product, but it applies it really nicely. So first time, I think, outside of a beauty blender that I like a different kind of sponge applicator. To be honest, I came into this with fairly low expectations, so y'all already know this applicator is good. All right, y'all, that is it for this episode of The Good, The Bad, and The Trendy. If you enjoyed this video and you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe, come and join the sisterhood. I love y'all, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.